Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1510, 1510, my friend. It is Mike's Daily Podcast. Somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont, we are today at Café Anyway, the last place on earth. I do a podcast every day. Some people say, that's too much, Mike. Too much podcast. I say, deal with it.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Get off my back. Ugh. My nose. My nose better get off my back.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That makes no sense. Hey, I have a couple things I wanted to chat about. I didn't know you were listening. Oh my gosh. Wow. I have this little sound effect that goes a little something like this. Wasn't that great? You're welcome.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Today, Bison Bentley, Shannon Pettypiece, Valentino, and Madame Rootabega. Shannon Pettypiece
Mike's
is from Bluebird News.
Daily
Bluebird News.
Podcast. Yeah!
Look at that little bluebird on my shoulder. Bluebird on my shoulder makes me happy. Hey, I did a super secret Sunday show yesterday. Did you catch it? You should listen to it. It's great because I do a daily podcast. And I talked to I didn't record it, but I had a great talk with my cousin who's still in Spain for one more week. Oh, look who just walked in. Hello, Michael Masters, Madame Rootabega, and I love Spain. I love empanadas.
You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right. Yes.
Empanadas.
What are you talking about, fool?
Empanadas. Look who else walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, there's some big news right now there.
Thank you, character, telling me something that... Oh, yes, this is actually pretty scary right now. An explosion was reported this morning near the Port Authority bus terminal. You probably have heard more about it since then. It's the big breaking news. They're showing wall-to-wall on all the cable news networks. So the NYPD says at this point it's investigating the incident. Well...
And here's today's podcast picture.
And they took one man into custody who they initially believe was carrying an explosive that went off. According to a police report, he appears to be the only one injured so far. Mayor de Blasio has been briefed on the ongoing situation. Several blocks of 8th Avenue were shut down as emergency responders filled the streets. The alleged blast also shuttered the 1, 2, and 3 subway lines and locked down the area around the bus depot. So we'll find out more about this, and hopefully this is all that it is, and it can be, no injuries, or, that would be great, wouldn't it? If nobody got hurt, but with a bomb, that doesn't happen. So the podcast picture is something a little more uplifting, a little more happy, a little bit more Christmassy. Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. And yes, that's a song that you hear on the Peanuts Christmas special. And in fact, someone liked the Peanuts so much, they had Charlie Brown, Schroeder, Lucy, and Sally, and what's his name? Linus, all in this like cardboard. No, it was wood. They chopped wood, they cut wood rather, and made this and painted it and made it into a little cool Christmas display in front of their house. I took a picture of this last night. There's Snoopy with Woodstock sleeping on top of him. How fun.
Merry Christmas!
It's that time of year. So, I need another topic to talk about. I wonder if Mike from last night can tell me something to talk about.
Mike, I'm walking Basil the boxer right now.
Hi.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, what was that?
He was sniffing just then.
Oh, Basil was sniffing.
So, on the podcast, you didn't talk about we're walking in a really quiet neighborhood right now. That's why I'm whispering.
Oh, okay.
On the podcast, you didn't talk about the whole thing with the...
What was that? Is that a hurricane blowing through the
thing?
What?
You know, with the thing,
What thing? What?
The Christmas screening you did that was all whack.
What?
And then...
Did he say Christmas greeting?
Thing about the...
Mike, wake up! He's about to pass out.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Oh, how you fix the Google Hangouts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was pretty good. I'm sure Shannon Petty Piece can tell us more about that. Thank you, Mike, who was passing out from walking. You know, I love my dog. Walking my dog is good exercise, but since I hurt my foot back in September, it has been more and more painful, and I don't look forward to the walks with my dog lately like I used to. I eventually get myself to go out with him and walk, but I mean, my right foot starts to hurt after a while, and I just, ugh. And, you know, you might be saying, Mike, well, every time you walk on that foot, it hurts a little bit more. But then I see stuff online that says you do have to exercise your foot to get it stronger. So the point is, I just try and keep it a shorter walk. And that's all I can do. And, you know, it's like the person who loves to swim, but they can't go in the water because they got swimmer's ear and they want to swim. Or like the person who wants to fly, but they can't fly at the moment because their wings are clipped. But we all have wings. But some of us don't know why. I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. Thank you, NXS. So, the Christmas greeting story is that I was at work at my radio stations that I work for in Fremont, and the production guy says, Mike, you need to do your Christmas greeting, and he hands me a piece of paper similar to that one, and Shannon Petty Piece was there, and she wasn't there actually, but she is a version of, oh, who's the Cups girl? Lives the long way around. Da, 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 da. Is it? You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. That girl. She kind of looks like her. Anna Kendrick. Thank you. So yeah, but Shannon Petty Piece is this writer, and she's on C-SPAN, and that's the point. And we got the elections tomorrow, and Roy Moore hasn't shown up anywhere. He's done one thing. He did this voice of Alabama politics, like awful closed circuit YouTube channel crapola television show. And there he just basically said, it's all lies. All the things that women ever say are lies. And so women are liars. No, he didn't say that specifically, but he basically said it was all untrue, and it's all the left-wing media is trying to undo his campaign. But he's basically done no campaign. He's done no campaigning. He showed up nowhere. And he's probably going to win this dang election tomorrow. And Trump, who if this doesn't come back to bite him and bite the Republican Party, there will be no justice in this world, because Roy Moore, you know the list. You know what's going on with him. And Trump just saying, we've got to vote for him. He did a robo-call that played over the weekend, called everybody up and annoyed them and said, hi, it's Donald Trump. Listen, you got to vote for Roy Moore because the Democrat, Doug Jones, he's all part of the left-wing agenda, the liberal agenda, and he's in the pocket of Nancy Pelosi, and I'm demonizing Nancy Pelosi right now, and that's really cool. Tacky! So, that's the robocalls went out with Trump, and Alabamans love Trump, and this is not looking good. But on to something more uplifting. This Christmas greeting that I was doing, they just handed me a piece of paper, and I had to improvise. Well, sometimes I can improvise, sometimes I am crappy at it. And I was sitting there trying to come up with something. And basically, I'm going to sound foolish on the 3 radio stations that we broadcast to the Bay Area on. And that's just how it is. And you know what? You got to deal with yourself sometimes, right? Because yourself is all you know.
Yep.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Some of that made sense. Some of it didn't.
Houston, we have a problem.
Well, back to the show called Mike's Daily Podcast, where we cover... Oh, the podcast picture. Yes, the Peanuts. Did you have to watch that all the time? Every year? The Peanuts special? I loved it as a kid. I loved hearing that music. It made me wistful. So, as big as the wildfires are in California, it's still only the 5th largest. The other 4, I will tell you what they are, if this LA Times article tells me. But apparently, now it's into San Francisco. I lived in San Francisco when we got hit by, what was it, the Painted Cave fire? Oh, that was frightening. Fires all along the Santa Barbara County, Ventura County coast. Santa Barbara Zoo is closed to the public, and it's 500 animals confined to their night quarters. The zoo was outside the evacuation area. Yeah, it's really far from the evacuation area. I don't know why they would even bring this up in this article, but it's a landmark. So the Thomas fire has forced 88,000 people to flee their homes, and this article from the LA Times does not tell us what the 4 worst California state fires were. But North Korea's latest boast is that Kim Jong-un can control the weather. Yeah. Australia's first gay divorce. What? Australia is set for its first gay divorce days after a historic marriage equality law came into effect, with lawyers preparing to file papers for a woman caught in legal limbo after marrying a foreign consulate. And that's what's going on in Australia. You're welcome, mate. That's my worst. North Korea's nuclear tests have created so many aftershocks. A 6.3 magnitude earthquake is what it generated, the nuclear test they did back in September, and the aftershocks have continued ever since. On Saturday, the U.S. Geological Survey said it had detected 2 more, sparking significant debate about what might be going on underground. On September 3rd, North Korea tested its most powerful nuclear bomb to date. Experts have expressed concerns that the explosion might have been so powerful it could have destabilized the surrounding mountains. According to the USGS, the U.S. Geological Survey, last weekend's tremors were relaxation events. When you have a large nuclear test, it moves the Earth's crust around the area, and it takes a while for it to fully subside, said someone from that organization. Yeah, so Moore has totally avoided the spotlight. Associated Press talking about that. Hey, we got a little bit of audio. That's the Trump robocall.
Before,
here it is.
We need that seat. We need Roy voting for us. I'm stopping illegal immigration and crime. We're building a stronger military and protecting the Second Amendment and our pro-life.
That's the call that will annoy you in Alabama.
Alabama elects liberal Democrat Doug Jones. All of our progress will be stopped cold. We already know Democrat Doug Jones is a puppet of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer.
Nancy
and
Pelosi.
He will vote with the Washington liberals every single time. Democrat Jones is soft on crime, weak on immigration, supports abortion. He's bad for our military and bad for our vets.
Oh, my God. The president is right. I have to vote against Doug Jones.
Roy Moore is the guy we need.
That's why I got to write in my write-in candidate. I want to write in Charles Barkley.
That's terrible.
After 8 years of the Obama disaster, Get out and vote for Roy.
All right. Moore has focused on meeting with small groups of supporters and an aggressive social media campaign out of camera range as he tries to That's what's happening there. And, looks like Mike has arrived here at Café Anyway, the other Mike. And finally, a little bit of uplifting tech news to wrap up this show. Let us go where Google has revealed all the Android Wear watches. They are getting the new Oreo. The Oreo configuration, their system. And a few days after its official arrival of Oreo and the lowdown on the device upgrades, aside from the LG Watch Sports, we are going to, which was spotted with Oreo last week, an additional 4 smartwatches are getting the Android bump. Isn't that nice? Take that, Apple, with all your amazing Apple products. And the best smart home gadgets for apartment dwellers, this is listed in BGR. What the heck is BGR? They say Marshall Stanmore Wi-Fi speakers are good. Okay. And yeah, I would like to wrap up the show. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you think I do too many podcasts, let me know. If you think I should do more podcasts, let me know. At mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. You can check out the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. It is a wonderful website full of all kinds of tips and helping news and podcast pictures and your, basically your life will be enhanced by going to mikesdailypodcast.com. You can help us out through the PayPal too. And we also have this contest going on, which is entitled
Mike's Yuletide Personalized MP3 for D Contest,
where we wish you
Merry Christmas!
And say, hey, let me know. You give me your greeting. Tell me your little happy holidays thing. Show your support. Show you're thanking me. Your nice side. Your un-Grinch-like side. Your un-Scrooge-like side. And tell me Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and anything it's got a hook in it. That's Billy Crystal did that in that his rendition of Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. Paul Schaefer provided the music for that, and for A Very Merry Christmas, by the way, if you ever watch that on Netflix. Which, by the way, I'm canceling my Netflix at the end of the year, I've decided. I have almost finished watching Enterprise. There are no original shows on Netflix that I like. So I'm done with Netflix at the end of the year, and I will save $100 by the end of next year. I'm so excited. It's probably more than that, huh? 8 times 12? Yeah, it's around 100. So my math is excellent. Thank you, Bluebird News, for your wonderful petty, whatever her name is, Shannon Petty Pants? No, that would be a bad... Petty Piece is her name. Petty Piece. And there's nothing petty about her pieces. Her writing... Her news pieces, I mean, is what... Oh, this has just gone bad. This has gone south. But yes, you can give me your Christmas greeting, your holiday greeting, and mess it up as much as you want like I did on the radio stations I work for. Mike's Daily Podcast @gmail.com. You can email me your greeting or call me at 336-MM-DAILY. Next show, it will be Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!